I just had an interesting realization from this whole geopolitical situation that is unfolding right now between Iran, Israel, and the US. And it just really puts things in perspective, man, because the whole thing that I realized is we don't have all the information. We don't know really what's going on at all times. Like, there's so many things that happen behind the scenes. So whenever we see an action or we see something unfold on the global stage, there's just so many variables and so many things that are happening before we could even hope to give an analysis of what is happening. And it just got me thinking, like, we really need to, like, absorb as much data as we can when it comes to things like this. Because, people are just, like, off on the internet saying, like, oh my god, Trump is evil for doing that. Oh my god, Trump is, he's having a backbone for not allowing Iran to have nuclear weapons, or oh my god, he's just a Zionist puppet because he's just doing what Israel wants, or something like that. And it's like, it could be many of those things. It could be a combination of those things. And then about 18 hours ago or so, he just released a press statement saying, like, Israel, basically, fuck off, stop trying to attack Iran, let's seek peace. And it's like, you would kind of expect the opposite from that after, like, he's just bombed one of their enemies and removed them from having the capability to have a nuclear weapon. And when I first saw that he bombed Iran, I was even like, what the fuck? Like, what is this? He's it seems like he's just bending to Israel here, right? But then more information comes out a little bit later, and you're like, oh, he warned Iran. He told them to evacuate. There was 0 casualties, which is very interesting. And it's theorized that they were even able to remove their research and their data and pull everything back that they had been working on to a different place. And it's not the best, like, Iran's a crazy regime, but also Israel is too. So it's just like 2 crazy countries, one heavily embedded in the US power structure, which is why they were even able to do something like this, and then another one which is just kind of a little bit extremist. Like, they just made it legal that you can marry a 9-year-old this year. That's absolutely insane. Like, an adult can marry a 9-year-old and it's all good. Crazy. But anyway, the conclusion of all this is just you can't just, like, go off and just immediately know. And we can apply this to our lives. Like, if anything happens, it's just like, you can't just, like, go off of the data you have or, like, what you see of the situation. You really need to take time to, like, integrate everything and look for all the nuance in everything that happens. Like, you really need to be hyper aware before you formulate an opinion and before you let your voice be heard to the world, man. Because there's a lot of things that could happen in all of our lives, in every single situation, that make it seem like something that it's not. It could be an argument. It could be, somebody who you thought betrayed you, but actually they had your back and you didn't see this slight little thing that they did. I don't know. Something that they did which, makes it seem that they did betray you, but they didn't betray you, So we could apply this to our lives very easily. It's just, I think the key core message from this is just really use your intelligence here to have patience and to consider all sides of the argument and to determine what is most likely with discernment. And we can apply that to our lives. We can apply that to geopolitical analysis. We can apply that to whatever we want. Because, there was just some people just going off on the internet saying this and saying that. And, people on the internet are always going to do something like that. But, this really highlighted for me, like, because even I was like, what the fuck, Trump? It just highlighted for me that we need to pause and we need to consider that we don't have all of the facts in front of us. And not having all of the facts in front of you could completely change your world ideology. So yeah, that's something that we all need, a bit of humility, a bit of understanding that there's always more to learn and there's always more to know. Formulating your opinion from what you know, but then having the humility to say, hey, maybe it's not that. I think that's the key lesson to take from this, and applying that not only in analysis of what's happening in the world, but also an analysis of what's happening in your own life.